Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today is another day of the 0 to Gold Cap Challenge. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so today we are going to be going over the Iron Docks Transmog farm. Now I've heard a lot of good things about this one, and to be honest I've already done a couple of runs and to see how good it actually was. So that being the case, without further ado, let's get into the walkthrough on how I prefer to do it and then show you how you can do it as well as that. So that being the case, let's just jump into the dungeon. Starting off with this dungeon, I tend to do it a very shorter route, and this is because I am a very lazy person when it comes towards some forms of dungeon farming. So if it's got like an elongated area, I usually try and cut it as much as possible, and that's to like shorten my actual run time so I can spend other time farming up other things such as like mats and all that jazz. And that usually fares me quite well. So like, say I was doing like something like the Dark Heart Thicket farm, that takes me about half an hour. So after that I'll just do something along those lines of doing a material farm alongside that as well. So once I'm logged out of that, until the other one, and then that's how basically I will do it. So now I've pulled the first boss, and what I'll do is, before we kill anything, we're going to put up Loot Brazier, and we're just going to use our swipe ability to make sure that they all die, and he will certainly die as well. So we got our first load of guys, 75 gold, and that's actually handy, and then a load of different things that I've actually just dropped. We just got 6,000 gold's worth of materials, well, Transmog, because this is primarily a Transmog farm. And what I'll do here is I will start grabbing all of the other things. So I'll go up to this guy, I'll grab that, and I'm going at a bit of a slower pace just so you guys can see what I'm actually doing at the moment. And I'll just make sure that I'm actually getting the aggro from these guys. So to be quite frank, it's just gathering up all of these guys and making sure that they die at the beginning. And then this is what I'll usually tend to do, and that is just farm up these guys right here. So I'll do the first pull that we just did, and then I'll do the second pull, which is this one right here, and that's when I will usually do my dream walk, because that's usually when I'll get like a bulk of loads of greens, and that's when I'll usually use my dream walk ability to dream walk out and then back in again. But if you wanted to elongate the route, you can always do that, and that is by running up this way. Now preferably, I don't like doing this because I find it takes me a little bit longer to do, and it's just a bit more of an inconvenience. But this is where you'll be gathering up all of your like ogre type guys. And I've just realised I missed a couple of dudes down there. Not a problem, not the end of the world. But what we're actually doing is we're gathering up all of these guys, and then we'll just gather up all of this. So what you can see here is loads of orcs once again. You can obviously increase the amount that you're actually farming this by just gathering up all of these guys right here and just pretty much just gathering them all up. So you can always just gather all of these guys up right here with this section, and this is by gathering as many of these orcs as possible. And this is what you should mainly do. If you're trying to do the lazy route, you just do it the normal way, which I just went up to and said this is where I would usually dream walk. And then all you got to do now is just gather up all of these mobs from over here and just keep going. So pretty much you're just gathering up all of the other guys to make sure that you get all of this stuff all added to you. So what I'll tend to do now is just gather up all of these guys if I'm doing a longer route. And what I tend to want to do is make sure that it doesn't take over about 4 minutes to finish all this up. So I don't usually bother with the top half of these guys. Yeah, like you could if you really wanted to, but this is where I'll usually do another dream walk, and that's at 30 minutes worth of time. This is because a boss comes down and you will have to fight the boss as well. So I want to mitigate the amount of times I have to fight the bosses when it comes to like a WoD dungeon, so to speak. So now I can just loot all of my stuff, get loads of other stuff. We just got a 10,000 gold shield. That's kind of cool. And other than that, that's pretty much it. We do have a green item, but that's nothing to write home about, so to speak. So you can obviously finish this up if you've got enough time, and for obvious reasons. you can do a third pull in here, and that is just gathering up all of these mobs right now. And it's overly not that hard to do. It's just basically just soothing a load of dudes and then just keep running, just keep running, and just keep running. And overall, it will take you a little bit longer than usually, but when you're actually doing like a run of like 10 things, I don't like to exceed 40 minutes. That's usually because when I actually do that, I don't really want to miss out on the resets. So obviously if I wanted to reset stuff and make sure things are going to sell, that's when I'll usually do all of that jazz, to make sure that I get all of my stuff overall. So obviously we just got another gold rock shield. Obviously they sell for quite a bit, and preferably this is where you would actually want to just stop around about here, and then you would want to dream walk. So destroy your trash, we'll dream walk, and then we'll just add all those together, and then we'll go through that once we're actually done. So we dream walk out of the actual dungeon, and then all we got to do is then reset the instance and then dream walk back in. It's really that dead simple to actually do this type of farm. Now overall I would prefer to just do a shorter run than usual, and that is because I tend to do it quite lazily. But if you wanted to get the best bang for your buck, you would want to do the full run of the Iron Docks, and just from one run we got around about 28,000 golds worth of actual items. Now bear in mind, some of these things are quite highly valued. That is because they're WoD specific items, so we'll pause that right there. And they're not overly anything special to write home about, but they will sell, because let's have a look at the neck piece for instance. That's 743 gold, and for Transmog it's got a sell rate of 0.09. This is insanely good for Transmog because it's nearly up there with like higher selling items. The thing for the gold rock shields, however, is 0.01. That is something you don't want. But the dagger, on the other hand, which is the lowest of one of the values, is 40 gold for it, and that's at 0.02. So you get a wide variety of different selling materials, well, Transmog items, and you also get a few materials if you do the complete run. Do the complete run, you get some sumptuous fur, you can also get some raw cleft tooth and lilac eggs, and they all sell pretty darn fast in the grand scheme of things, because they're used for Draenor cooking and also tailoring for the sumptuous fur. But the main thing you're actually going for with the Iron Docks is pretty much just farming it all up for the transmogs in order to sell in the auction house. Overall, this is a 60 to 100,000 gold per hour farm, and overall I found this to be a really enjoyable farm just to go through, because there's not many of these farms that are out there just yet with loads of different things that you can actually find. And quite frankly, looking at all of my stuff that I actually have, I am actually going to be doing this a little bit more because I want to see if I can get any more high-end things from this actual dungeon. I just wanted to bring this to light because I really do enjoy Transmog, and at this moment in time I'm finding that the Iron Docks is the one that's performing the best overall. So it may be something you may want to look into moving forward. Aside from all of that, guys, that is pretty much all I have to say for the video for today. I just wanted to cover the Iron Docks because I've been banging on about it, and I wanted to show how I actually farm it up. And other than that, have a lovely rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow. If you want to support the channel and help make the channel even better, then why not check out the Patreon? Members get additional info, gold making resources, and Patreon specific content. The link is located in the description down below. Thank you and have an awesome day.